Okay, finally, I can do a brief, maybe not brief, overview for Tekken 8 with my feelings and opinions about it. I believe this game dropped maybe like 3, 4 months ago. I can't even remember now. Time flies these days. But I would say, just to get it out there, I generally am very happy with the product we were provided. I know that there's some people who've had some disagreements about mechanical things, changes in gameplay, and such, but this is just me going over my personal thoughts and feelings about different things encompassing the game, so let's get right into it. So when you start the menu, as you can see, it's kind of the standard Tekken 7 affair. But now you get stared down to death by whatever DLC character comes out. Before, it was not Eddie Gordo who was sitting at the screen giving you just, just mean mugging you. It used to be Kazuya at launch, and now we have Eddie. And so I think Harada has said that every DLC, the new character is going to stare you down. So I guess there's something to find enjoyment from. Next month when it's Lydia, that'll be cool. She might be a little bit nicer. Might not be the first character who doesn't want to look like she wants to murder you, like Eddie and Kazuya here. But yeah, that's a new thing. I guess they did it because, from what I understand, they made some graphical changes to this game. Clearly, look at the fidelity on Eddie Gordo. He looks like a real person. So I think they just really wanted to show off how proud they are. Because I think, isn't this like the first PlayStation 5 fighting game too? On consoles? I forget. So yeah, it really shows off, I guess, like the technical prowess of the Tekken team and how far they've come using, I guess Tekken 7 was their first time using the Unreal Engine, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, fantastic. But, as you can see here, the main menu is like a more substantial version from Tekken 7. Basically, it's a scroll wheel that you use LB and RB to scroll past each category. This is the main menu. This is just how the main menu is set up. The first category, which is just like, I guess, the Jin symbol, has more to do with story stuff and personalization that has to do with you, I guess. But maybe it's also an icon just denoting general things. Might even be a favorites list. I have no idea. But you have Story Dark Awakens, Story The Dark Awakens, I suppose, which is like the main story. I've already cleared all of it, but it went for like 15 chapters basically. And also, spoilers, before I go on ahead, as you can see here, it shows like preview clips. So, spoilers. You can move on ahead by like a minute or two. Maybe not a minute. I don't know. You can test ahead, but as you can see here, as you clear the story mode, you unlock new chapters. And there's 15 chapters in the game. You can set different difficulty, easy, medium, hard, or what I like to call progression difficulty. Like, do you want story or a challenge, is what I call difficulty these days now. When I first did chapter 1, when the demo came out, Kazuya was crazy. Like, Kazuya's AI was crazy. But the thing is, I don't know if I could rank Kazuya's AI's difficulty as being nuts, or maybe I was just kind of a beginner to the Tekken 8 system. I think that's more or less what was the issue. Because when I played Tekken 7, in Tekken 7, the first chapter has you playing as Heihachi to fight Nina. And Nina was also crazy, but then when I got better at the game, I was able to just fly past her with flying colors. I was never able to beat the ending Kazuya on normal difficulty because he was kind of crazy, but I think I could do it now if I went back. So, I think in terms of its difficulty, it provides enough of a challenge, mostly at like pentupulent moments, but you can enjoy yourself. And again, I think it's 2024. If you're struggling, I don't think there's any shame in playing at your flow to get through the story. In terms of the story quality, I would say it's as Tekken as you get. But I do think that I think I was one of the few people who kind of did not have an issue with the Tekken 7 story. I really didn't. I didn't think it was like the greatest, but I didn't think it was bad either. I also kind of like the investigative reporting angle, you know, but I can understand how that's just not how Tekken has been presented to people, and so it would never be seen as like, you know, acceptable to most people who are used to what this franchise has on offer. But I did kind of like how it culminated in kind of Heihachi giving his final interview at the end of his life, or supposed end of his life, who knows. But yeah, Tekken 8 I think is just like a Tekken fan's like holidays or Christmas, because Harada and his team really did a really good job of just giving every kind of fan what they want. You know, you could get a challenge out of playing this, but you could also just get good fan service. I think the Tekken 8 story can be I can ultimately say it is a very, like, I feel like Tekken 8 as a package is very fan service oriented, you know, but it's not just fan service oriented for the hardcores, but it's also for people who are just casually into the series and just love these characters. Because there is a part in the story where you do participate in the Tekken tournament in a Tekken style. I won't go into that because it could be a bit spoilery if I say anything more. But you get to fight in an actual tournament like you see here with Reina, Jin, Hwoarang. So it's pretty fun. And, you know, it culminates into some crazy Tekken shenanigans that we're used to a part where like you're actually like fighting in an all-out war with your hands. It's pretty legit by Tekken standards, I mean. But yeah, I think that overall, again, I'm gonna talk about spoilers, but like the ending battle where you fight Kazuya as Jin and Jin realizes who he is and what he wants to fight for is great. The only problem I have is that a lot of characters in this story tend to like let it slide. They let this guy who essentially started World War III kind of walk off with a pass. Like, yeah, you killed millions of people, but I guess it was for a good cause. My issue with Jin has always been that I don't think he exhausted all his options, and Harada and his team could have easily just said that the story reason for why Jin did much of what he did was because he was being controlled by the devil possessing him. If the team had just said or implied that, I think all the characters forgiving him would make sense. But, man, if I was Miguel and he comes back in the Tekken 8, I'd be so mad at everybody. Like, this guy is responsible for getting his sister killed or murdered, I think on her wedding day. And he almost could have taken him out in Tekken 7, because I think Miguel fights Jin in Tekken 7 and beats him, but I don't think it's ever shown if Jin was really going all out. I mean, Miguel had to have, but I don't think Jin had to have, you know? I think this game clearly shows that when Jin is trying, a lot of his devil energy comes out of him, you know? It's even incorporated into a lot of his movesets when he's doing things. There's like a red aura that like he exudes when he's like really showing his power. And I do like how the game does kind of explain that most of like a lot of Jin's strength has kind of been reliant on the devil inside of him, because at some point in the game he's not able to awaken it inside of himself after losing to Kazuya. And so I feel like they use Leo and their father to good functionality by having them be like the explorers who go to find out the story behind the devil gene, and that's how we learn more information about what it is and how it's connected to Azazel, and how there's two halves, and one of them is in Jin and the other half is in Kazuya. And I do kind of like that Kazuya is the one who could not reconcile with it and wanted to dominate it, and Jin is the half who does not have really the temperament to want to dominate anything, and ultimately leads to him coming to terms with it in himself. And so I really like that, and I do kind of like that for him to participate in the tournament. He basically has to, how can I put it? He basically has to learn how to fight for the sake of. Again, the story kind of shows that like Jin's strength parameters are kind of connected to the devil gene, and I do kind of like this because it builds this idea that he has kind of been able to best most opponents off of relying on something that's not him, but then he's able to then garner his own strength, reconcile it, and then that strength within himself is accepted as an integral part of who he is, regardless of whether it's foreign or it's domestic within himself. So I do like that. Again, like I said, I think he gets forgiven way too quickly. But I am kind of happy that Jin is happy by the tail end of it. And I do think I do think this game and Harada and team are doing kind of what Street Fighter kind of is doing right now with World Tour, where they have a story where they're really trying to have the players kind of try to figure out what do they believe is like the point of fighting. You know, what is true strength, like it's asked in World Tour mode. And I do kind of like how at the end Jin gives his answer, and I'm not going to go over that. Everybody knows kind of what he said, but for people who have not played the story mode yet, you're just going to have to play to see. Because I do kind of like that Jin and Kazuya, father and son, are kind of like these inverse reflective mirrors of one another, but they go in different trajectories and they exist on different sides of the spectrum, and their philosophies and why they fight have a big deal to do with that. And it's interesting because Tekken 8, I think, is also Jin, ever since he appeared in Tekken 3, has been a monster of a fighter. Like, I think Tekken 3 he beat Ogre. No, he beat True Ogre after Paul beat Ogre. And then in Tekken 4, he didn't get to the end of the tournament because he got taken down by Heihachi and his Zaibatsu goons. And so, you know, Heihachi had him strung up in like his temple or something like that. After Heihachi and Kazuya fought, Heihachi brought Kazuya to the temple, and Kazuya had every intention of basically killing Jin, I think, and taking his half of the devil with him. But Jin broke out of his chains and beat both Kazuya and Heihachi. Like, completely, like they were nothing. You know, and Jin has been on a tear. Tekken 5, if I'm not mistaken, Jin beats Jinpachi, who's Heihachi's like father, who he stuffed under like one of their temples and chained him up, holding up like some sort of platform for eternity, and his soul got possessed by a demon. And Jinpachi, I don't think, is inherently portrayed as being like naturally like a bad-tempered person. It's really the thing he's being possessed by. And Jinpachi, I think it's kind of shown in Tekken 5, I don't know if it's officially confirmed, that he's really just looking for someone in the world to stop him. You know, and I think in his own ending, I think he has his own ending where he basically, Jinpachi's, you know, he kind of tears up inside if, you know, I guess you get like the bad ending and nobody beats him. I don't know if it's his ending or if it's a lost screen. I'm not sure. I only played Tekken 5 on the PSP, Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. But yeah, like I think it kind of shows that like if no one's able to beat him, he ends up just destroying the world. And there's a credit scene, a credit crawl that says, "And the world was never the same." So it's very tragic. But Jin beat him too. Jin beat him in Tekken 5, and then in Tekken 6, Jin became the ruler of the world after beating Jinpachi at the end of Tekken 5, because I believe after the events of Tekken 4 into Tekken 5, Heihachi was like missing in action. And so, it makes it even more incredible how Heihachi comes back in 7 and fights his way back into his own corporation to be at the seat of power again. He fights through all his Tekken 4 soldiers just to do it. Like it's some beat 'em up game. But that's Heihachi for you. On top of that, what else is there to say? But yeah, Tekken 6, Jin was just causing World War III, because what you end up finding out is that basically he was trying to find a way to ignite the awakening of an ancient entity named Azazel, the destroyer of the world or whatever. And he had to do that by committing atrocities on the planet, because that is what Azazel feeds off of. But, I've always said it's very questionable if Jin had to even do any of that. There is so many people in Tekken 7 and even in Tekken 8 who kind of show up. And it seems to me like, I don't know. It's just like, that's why I've always felt like it would have been better if Harada and the team had just said the devil possessing Jin made him do it. And maybe there's information that implies that's the case. Everyone can let me know. But through Tekken 6, playing it, which I enjoyed, like the campaign scenario, I never got that impression. It did seem to me like he was very much of a certain mindset of what he wanted to do. And Tekken 6, Jin takes out Azazel, one hit, just one hit, and then he's MIA for Tekken 7, so he wakes up at the tail end of it, I think. But Jin was going crazy. Jin has been just a monster. Like, from Tekken 3 to Tekken 7, he was beating every world-ending opponent. Top caliber class opponents would just fall to Mr. Kazama. And then Tekken 8, after Kazuya finally overcomes Heihachi at the end of Tekken 7, and I think there is some significance to this, of like having Kazuya overcome Heihachi, because I think Heihachi stood as kind of the metaphorical demon to a demon for Kazuya. It was like a mental block, because what in Tekken 8 they kind of explained that the devils that possess you feed off of desire, and in order for you to evolve in power, you have to overcome the thing that's in front of your desire, kind of. That's how I took it. And for Kazuya, that was Heihachi. Jin has never had anybody like that. He's toppled anybody who's fought him. The minute that Kazuya finally beat Heihachi at the end of Tekken 7, in Tekken 8, now he's the monster. He's slapping Jin around like he's nothing, all the way from the beginning to the end, when Jin finally, fights for his own heart, they say. He fights for what he believes in. And I don't have to go into that, but yeah, there is an element of Tekken 8 that is very, stay true to your heart. Your fist strikes only as true as your heart, kind of. That whole kind of thing. And yeah, so yeah, I think in terms of what we got compared to what we've gotten prior, which I think is always what needs to be done. You need to compare things based on not just other works, but also what that work has provided in the past. I think the Tekken 8 story is acceptable in my personal view. Everyone, again, at the end of the day, is going to be free to have their own value judgments. But I thought it was acceptable. I thought there was fun things in it, and I think it's worth trying out. You know, I love these characters. I love the world of Tekken. I love how incredibly ridiculous it is. I love how the fighters in this game are just either possessed by spirits, demons, or they're casual bullet timers, or they're robots. You know, like, as long as you just live within the universe makes sense. And so, yeah, I think it's acceptable. I wish they would have. I feel like it would have been better if they had really dug their heels into kind of questioning Jin, because it seems like all we've done at this point is allow Jin to sulk about how he's sorry about what he did. But it's like, that would not be enough for everybody. In fact, that's why I'm like, he's very lucky that the writing is on his side at chapter 10, or most of these people probably wouldn't have shown up if this was real life, you know, because he caused a lot of destruction. But yeah, I think for what it is, I think the Tekken 8 story it's acceptable. It's an acceptable story. Again, acceptable in the format of Tekken. Okay? This is a Tekken game. We got to look at it from a Tekken framework. I think it's acceptable. He gets the job done. You have fun. You go on with your life. You know, I would love to see them expand on this in a more substantial way in the future. You know, definitely. So yeah, that is Story of the Dark Awakens. And then along with that, there are some character episodes. Okay. These are like additional things that supplement the story, where you fight a series of matches. They explain certain things. Some of these are like alternate endings, like what ifs, I think. You know, which I think is a good throwback to other Tekken endings from the classic games, where you're kind of wondering what's canon and what's not, which is fun because there's some shenanigans happening with June and her appearance that I have a feeling, you know, is gonna add up in the future, you know, because I know they said they're doing like story DLC, right? And I'm sure that's gonna reveal a lot. I feel like they're gonna reveal quite a bit in story DLC because June, her appearance is very mysterious and her showing up is very weird. And I some part of me feels like some part of me is really wondering, you know, if there is something going on behind the scenes, not just with June, but with Reina, because all I'm gonna say is play the June story. Something happens with her where, whether it's canon or not, whether this is real or not, would explain some things as to why she's back, not just to help Jin. Because we're under the impression she's helping Jin in her mind, but she shows up at some point in the story at the very end of the main scenario campaign. But that's gonna be interesting. Okay, but next we have the Tekken Fight Lounge. We'll go into it real quick. Basically, they turned Tekken into an arcade. Okay. From the comfort of your home. You know, you could select from your friends, I guess, to jump to them, to what arcade they're at, or to see what arcade room they're in, because it's divided by region and server, as you can select from region here. So you could go to like Japan or Korea and play some like Korean players, I suppose. Number of people logged in. Oh, there's like, is there nobody here in this lounge? Let me see. I just want to see how this looks. Oh, it doesn't look like anyone's here. I was under the impression that this place would be bumping. Oh well, let's try the American region. I want to actually just show people running around. Okay. America 1. Yep, America 1 is crowded. We'll go to America 2. But here we are. As you can see, this is the Tekken 8 arcade. And so you can customize how your character looks. Mine is kind of based off Nina, because I play Nina. as of now, I kind of do, at least. It's hard for me to have a main, but like, I tried to stylize myself with the glasses, the hair. I think my character looks cute. But as you can see, everyone else is logged in here. And there's also a way where if you click the right joystick, you can see like console or PC. They're playing on consoles based on the icon on their head. And then I think you can right click again to hide your name. So it'll just be a series of numbers or something. I don't know what this is for. I don't know if it's for streamer mode or not, but this is how it looks. But here you go. And then basically, you know, you got this very sprawling arcade. And there's about 3 places you can go. There's Iron Fist Outfitters. There's the main arcade. And then there's the Tekken Dojo. Tekken Dojo is basically for practicing. We'll take a walk in right now. As you can see here, you have actual players who are practicing the game. And it's so cool because I wish a place like this existed for me in real life. Because I've always said that I need a place to go to in person to meet people who like playing fighting games. I've struggled with that all my life. But yeah, you have the Tekken Dojo staff, and then I guess from here you can access something called the shop. I'll go into this in a minute, but I'm kind of surprised you can access the shop from this guy. Yeah, but as you can see, people are practicing here, and these are individual setups. So when you queue up here, it will take you into your own kind of practice mode. No pressure, you know. I'll just pick Kazuya as a practicing person. Celebration on the scene. I should have talked about the stages and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully nothing happens. That one performance. Oh yeah, so as you can see, Kazuya is attacking me because I still have the CPU on ultra hard. That's usually what I play on. But yeah, you can just practice from here basically. And this is all happening while still online, you know? You just do whatever you want, everything you'd want to deal with in the practice mode. And I could talk a little bit about... I'm not an expert at this game, but like, I'll let you all just take an observation and see what's on offer here in the settings. You can change the type of training, opponent's actions, action after hit on block, punishment settings, ground technique, wake up, so on and so forth. I'll let you read through all that for all of you lab monsters and people who are like technically sufficient, unlike me. And then there's just restart settings. I'll let you all see this for anyone who's interested. And then, you know, you have display settings. And then they have like little tutorials that you can do, like challenges. Like if you want to learn like punishment, because punishment is very important, you know, because if someone uses a move that I believe they say is negative on block, you can use these moves basically to get your turn. Again, some moves are just so good that you can't, I don't think you can respond back like this all the time. But yeah, this is just the punishment training. Sometimes you could put in the wrong input and it will register, but hey, who cares, you know? You know, if you don't do it right, that's on you. But yeah, that's the training for normal challenges, and you could do hard. And then hard, I think they delay it, as you can see, just to correct you as to what you're supposed to do. So it's like memory training. But I think these are like very broad punishment guides and techniques. And then you go to combo challenges. You can learn some basic combos, basically. You know, boom, boom. You know, you learn some basic stuff. Let me see if I can succeed. I didn't think I'd get that. I feel like on stream, under pressure, because I have an anxiety disorder. So whenever I try to do things like this, I'm like, I don't know if I can pull this off right here. Oh, missed it. Ooh. I love this character. Yuna is so awesome. She's so good in this game. I've heard some people say she's more accessible, but I've always just liked the way she feels. Like, I've always said, you gotta pick a character that feels comfortable to you. And I feel so, like, in my own skin when I'm playing this character. Like, it feels so good. Very quick, lethal, and deadly. Like a snake. She's great. And here's your move list. It'll tell you your main techniques. All your techniques are also here. Sample. Yeah, and these are like your sample combos. Again, even in the combo challenges, they will tell you the difficulty of a combo. I've always said that if you're starting, you should focus on doing something that does high damage, but you can consistently execute it in a wide variety of circumstances and situations. So like, I could look at something and go, wow, that's 60 damage, but if I can't consistently pull this off all the time, then I might want to look elsewhere. I might go, okay, you know, I can't do a 50 damage combo consistently, and I can start with just doing something like 39 just to start. You know, go at your own pace. Everything is about going at your own pace. But yeah, I've always said if you could get a good 50 damage combo, that should be a good start. Doing 50 damage in a combo, I think, is a good start. And I think finding one from while rising, which is the idea of like crouching and then knocking up the opponent, is important, just as having a while standing to knock them up, you know? Oops. You know, it's good. So have one for, I think having a move to knock them up while you're standing is important, and then knowing how to knock them up while you're rising is important, because that will start the combo process in both situations. And yeah, and also the fighting system has this thing called heat system. You can use it for a wide variety of things. Basically, that blue bar at the top, as it decreases down, you can, you get like extra damage, I think, and then you can press it again. Mine is right bumper, but you can use it to interrupt momentum. Everything in this game is more offensive and aggressive, by the way. So momentum is the game. Like, you have to know how to manipulate and use momentum. So you have to know when to start your momentum, keep your momentum, and stop your momentum. Start, keep it going, and stopping momentum. Everything is momentum in this game. Knowing when to start it, how to keep it going, and then knowing when to end it, and then knowing how to like trick people into maybe their own momentum so you could stop them. Everything is momentum in this game. Tekken 8 is very offensive based. But yeah, here's a help screen if you need to learn anything in the practice menu. And you need to go back to select a new character, pick a different stage, and then we can go over some of the stages here. Again, I'm sorry if I'm not saying anything technical. I'm just not a very technical player. I'm just not. I should be though. I'd be much better. But yeah, as you can see here, are some of the stages. They tell you about the hazard, the shape of the stage. 1F is first floor, 2F is second floor. If it has like a ground break or a wall break, it'll even tell you wall bound, floor break, balcony break, and some people use that in their game plans to set up combos and stuff. I think it's important to know, but I think relying on it is kind of crazy. You know, reliably getting someone into some of these situations to do all these breaks and stuff. It's kind of like dependent on like a fight. I feel like a fight is a very chaotic thing where having an open-ended mindset benefits you. You know, I treat fighting games as an open-ended. I think most action games are open-ended. It's not close-ended like a game like chess, where the permutations in the various ways you can move pieces on the board, on the chessboard, are defined. Action-oriented activities have so many moving variables to them that I think everything is about having treating almost the tools you use like a role-playing game where you have to know what armor to equip and what weapons to use, and then you need to know when to switch out those weapons to put in a new set of inventory tools in your equipment slots and use that. You know, I think trying to do a little bit of everything, I think in an action scenario, action games, I think are open-ended, not close-ended. Like, nothing is defined, anything can happen in a fight. You just have to have the tools that are the most ready for most situations, while having everything else as supplemental, in my opinion. Now let's see if I can exit from here. Yep, I can exit. But also, yeah, here are all the characters, by the way. Claudio's back, Safina's back, Paul's back, Raven, everybody's mostly back. And, like, the new characters are, let me not say everybody. Let me not get people too excited. Most the familiar people, you know who you're looking at. But the new people are Victor and Azucena. I've met some people who've said that Azucena is a very good new friendly character to use. She has a lot of like back turning stuff and posing and dancing she does when she fights, and if you hit her with certain property attacks, she dodges or she responds back. I have a hard time liking this character just because I don't really like characters who fight in a very unstandard way. Like, the reason I like Nina is because Nina, like, faces you and is trying to find ways to open you up. She's not turning her back and dancing all the time. Like, I'm more of a standard player. It's hard for me to play characters who are, like, constantly non-standard. I think the only non-standard one I've liked in Tekken was the vampire lady from Tekken 7. She was fun. And then you have Reina, who's also a new character. She's also a Mishima. I think she has a what is it? That leg sweep move, a hell sweep. And she also does Electric Wind God Fist, is it called? The 15 frame uppercut thing. I think she can do it, just like Kazuya. And she does some acrobatic leg kicking and stance changing. So if you're into that and how she looks, she's for you. And then Victor, I really honestly feel if you tell people, did you enjoy playing Noctis in Tekken 7? Then you're going to love this guy, because he does everything that guy does, maybe, and some. And so he's like a super spy. He uses a knife to like stab at you in some like military CQB stuff. Like if you like the idea of like knife fighting, I guess, and being a super spy, or being like a master of close quarters combat like Snake, you can be Victor. Or if you like John Wick, that's another comparison to make too, because there's a lot of people who make customizations of John Wick using Victor. But yeah, he's really fast, has some very good pressure. You know, he just really keep up the offense on you, and there's a lot of people who find him very oppressive. play him, but I don't want to make this video go on for too much longer. So let's return to the lounge. So all that happened while we were in the lounge. All that happened while we were in the lounge. And, yep, everybody else is still here too. Now, you can go into the arcade from this way, but I don't want to confuse anybody. So we're going to walk back out here. Back into the plaza. And you can also sit down on these too. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, also I didn't mention that on the bottom left, yeah, you can chat. You know, you can chat on the bottom right and say things. Oh, and there's also emotes too for your character. And then also, you know, I'll get into some of that extra stuff, but at the bottom, as you can see, you can click right trigger and you can match from anywhere. And the people you see gaming on the floor are using match from anywhere. And it tells you what they're doing, online battle. And you can walk up to people and also spectate their battles while they're doing this. Direct chat, which is, I guess, like whisper, stuff like that. But yeah. So let's go to the arcade. And as you can see here, there's multiple setups here. So this arcade connects to the dojo that we just saw over here, okay? And so on this side of the arcade, you have these kind of machine setups where it's kind of, you just click whether you want to do ranked match or quick match. You don't have to. Again, you can click right trigger or whatever is your right trigger and just do manual and you'll just play on the floor. But if you're not trying to like play on the dusty floor, right, you can just play right here. But these are machines that are just for you. You know, you can't practice on these. Again, if you wanted to practice, you'd have to come over here to the Battle Dojo. But this is where you can play on the floor or, you know, using the match anywhere feature, or you can just queue up right here. These are not the challenging the challenging setups where you challenge people. These are the challenging setups. So, you know, if you click A, you know, it'll set you up and get you right into a match. So I'm gonna play this person, maybe. Should I? Yeah, let me see if they'll play me. Let me see if they'll take my match.
Get ready for the next battle.
Hopefully the connection is stable, and along with the connection being stable, I can play on stream. It's checking connection quality. Okay, it looks like they're ready. Let's see if this actually works.
Get ready for the next battle.
This person's brawler rank 38,000 Tekken power. I think they changed Tekken power from prowess. In Tekken 7, prowess is like the new XP system.
Going somewhere?
Alright, let's see how well I can do. Alright, got him. Nice. It's like the only combo I know. I apologize. I just like the guns. Ooh, he got me. I love that glass breaking effect. Like if you try to use your healing agent and they use their rage art, I think it breaks the glass basically. I'm not gonna. Nah, he blocked. Oh wow! You know it's funny because the rage art, which has been around since Tekken 7, recently, he should. Oh, I thought he'd survive that. Normally, it got slowed down, so like you have to use it much more defensively in this game. Nice. Oh, it broke from there. Ooh. Nice. He got me. Yep, I had a feeling he would do it. Because I knew he was getting very upset with being poked to death. I knew he was getting very frustrated with being poked to death. And I was just like, if I was him, I would do it again. So we'll get our second round going. And yes, I have the you can also set the type of music from which Tekken game you want in the menu. I guess I'll go over that eventually. Ooh. Boom. Nice. Let's get it. Nice. Okay. Yep, this is kill. Oh! Could have swore he was gonna go for a low. I think I'm starting to lag just a bit. I'll get some damage from this. I don't think I'm gonna get a whole lot, but might as well. I'm thinking maybe I get him low enough, and then maybe he tries to use his. Nice! Yes! I got the grab. Oh, he went under it. I apologize for any connection issues. Oh! Yay! We did it! Again, apologize for any lag, you know, anything like that. I really appreciate the fight, Alex. I need to learn new combos. I feel so ashamed of myself. But I mean, most of the things I've been using are working, right? Like, I basically said, hey, if it ain't broke yet, you don't have to improve it until you have to. So as you can see here, that's kind of how it works with the verses. You just need to find a machine where someone's sitting down and you sit next to them, and it's going to take you into a practice mode first, then it's going to establish your connections first, and then you click whether you want to accept or not. And it does this every time, which is why if you really want to play consistently, you should probably just create a lobby. But yeah, this is the versus hall. And I mean, you can't really grab a bite to eat. That'd be great, but can't do that, not yet. So you come to the battle area staff, and you can access the shop as always, and then you can see online replays, the leaderboard, help, stuff like that. But yeah, let's head back out. So we just saw the Tekken dojo, got some practice in. We just saw arcade, played just a single game. And now we're going to go to Iron Fist Outfitters. Okay? Now this is where I like to be. Not really. You don't really need to come here to customize your character. You can do it through the menu at the start of the game. But if you want to do it from the lounge here, you can also do it. You can also access the shop, as usual. But, yeah, you can character customize, avatar customize. Let's go to character customization. So, click on your character. Here are a few of mine. This is my Anna one that I made. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Customization. These are kind of a couple of the hairstyles they got. And the best thing I think in this game is you can try them on by pressing, wow. Sheesh. I might just put this on. This looks... Sheesh. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? No, that's what I'm talking about. So, after you get that hair, you can put on any eyes you want. Again, you can press X to try on the eyes. Actually, it looks really cool with the blue eyes. I might end up changing this to be a new character entirely. This is supposed to be the Anna look, but I can make some changes to it. Ooh, and a shinobi mask. Now, I have a feeling that the shinobi mask, it has a cart next to it. That means you have to likely buy it. We know where to go to do that. You know, there's multiple places to go do that, which I'm not complaining. They got to make their bread somehow, but that's a cool mask. But that's for mouth. You got eyebrow, eye color stuff. You know, you can just change right here, and they allow you to go into like details and how you want to color it specifically. You know, cool things like that. And I think the cool thing is that, like, if you pick up and mess up on the wrong color, you can scroll up and just click default color. I think. I'm pretty sure the default color puts it to whatever the default is. Yeah, and then you have eye makeup. That looks really good. I can't make a decision because this looks so good too. Some good stuff here. Like I said, Makeup Fighter 8 over here is pretty good. I mean, you can't unfortunately do substantial things with it. Like, it'd be cool if it was like an Elden Ring slider, you know? But we're not Elden Ring, at least not quite yet, you know? And yeah, and then some items I think become unlockable when you go when you do the arcade quest story and you fight these things called ghosts. I'll go into that in a bit. And you have face paint. You can give your character a tan. Mine has a tan. And it's your standard affair basically from Tekken 7 with some extra bits. Accessories. I think you can equip like pretty sure there's a gun here, isn't there? I mean, my character Nina already has a gun she uses, but why not add 3 or 4, right? And then you have the character panels. I think you can unlock more of these, I think. I'm not sure. A couple of these things you can unlock, alright? And then you got the hit auras and stuff like that you can wear to make your character look powerful when they're running. There's electricity, stuff like that. Yeah, and then there's the hit effects. You know. And then the model viewer, you can pose. Jeez. Listen, Nina works out alright, you could tell. Pose 1, and then you could choose like different backdrops. I'm surprised there's not more backdrops. I don't know if you can get more of these, but there should be. But yeah, I'm gonna exit without saving, discard current appearance, and then you can save it, and then you get like multiple slots. You get like 10 for each character, right? And then you got, you know, and some of these skins are from like Tekken 7. I do wish they'd do a little bit more with what you could do with details and more items and more backdrops and more. But who knows what the game has in store for us years out. Yeah, I could have talked to this guy to access all this stuff. You know, avatar customization. These are all mine. I wear different versions of them for different characters I main. I know, not main, but I know when I'm toying around with a character who's a little bit on the edgy side, I like to use this one. And then if I'm playing someone who's like lighthearted like June, I'll wear this. And then if I'm playing someone upbeat, I'll wear this. And then if I'm playing like Nina, I'll wear this. Yeah, you have your different faces basically that they give to you. Again, there's no sliders, there's no quantified number values, and then you trade with people online to get a cool face like Elden Ring or something like that, or Baldur's Gate. It's just very general, broad stuff. And you unlock more, you know, stuff like clothing and whatnot. You can wear a beard, you know. How you can present, they give an avatar that's very like neutral in how they present, you know, in their expression, and then it's really the clothing that brings out and expresses like, you know, who you are, how you identify and stuff like that. You know, and then you get to choose any pose you want. And then you get to choose clothes, and again, you unlock more clothes. Sometimes they give out clothes for free. Like this Tekken 8 hat they gave out for free. Yeah, and then glasses. And sometimes, again, as you can tell, shopping cart, they sell you just the character. If you just are character loyalists or just love a certain character, you could just walk around as that character for a small fee of $5. Well, I don't know if it's $5. I'm just making jokes. But yeah. And, you know, another thing is you might be looking at the bottom right of the fight money and thinking I'm like just a millionaire. Like I am just the I don't know how to explain myself. I am just swimming in money. But they hand out money like it's nothing in this game. I think if you beat the story mode, you're going to be rich like me. You beat the story mode, you'll be rich like me. And then you could buy anything you want, you know? Which I don't know. I feel very mixed. It's like on one hand, I like that they're allowing us to customize our character however we want without paying for it. But it's like, then what's the point of paying for anything if you just hand out money like crazy? But I don't want them to hear that. I kind of like the way it is. I like having the freedom to express myself. And that's what I like about Tekken 8. It's very, it has something for everybody. Whether you're on the hardcore spectrum, casual spectrum, mid-core spectrum. I consider myself mid-core. But yeah, you can unlock a lot of this stuff in story. I think the coolest thing is like the fight sticks. It's just so cool. Yep, I think this is like what, a hitbox that sits in the back here, and you can give yourself like headphones and stuff. Yep. And then we'll exit without saving. Discard appearance. Yeah, but that's avatar customization. Avatar. And I see my friend here, Sir Shadow 25, also shopping. But yeah, back here it connects to the arcade, like I had said prior. Again, I went through the entrance over here just because I didn't want to confuse anyone. All three of these locations are connected. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you can play Tekken beach volleyball. So if you come to the corner over here, it'll take you out here to the beach side. This has to be like the most expensive complex in existence. Like, geez. You can play against people in Tekken Ball. And let's spectate these two gentlemen playing. Hopefully, again, there isn't any connection issues. Listen, if you want to get into Evo, the main game to play is beach ball, clearly. So right now it's moving like Sonic the Hedgehog because it's trying to catch up to the actual match. Eventually it should slow down. Hopefully it doesn't do what it. See, the match ended because we joined late, so we caught up to while it was basically coming to an end. Okay, good. They're starting a new matchup. So let's see. Lamesh and Floppa Chungus are playing for $1 million on the world stage right now. And so a little history behind Tekken Beach Ball is that it's kind of a callback homage to a Tekken Ball game from Tekken 3, if I'm not mistaken. Tekken 3 was such a wonderful game because the console release came with a side-scroller in the way of something called Tekken Force, which is like a side-scroller, like a Streets of Rage, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Final Fight sort of like side-scroller where you're just beating up like enemies coming on screen and stuff. And there's a sequence in the story where you actually get to do that over again. So that's another reason to play story, so you can experience a form of bodied. You can experience a form of Tekken Force again through the story mode because a sequence like that happens again. But as you can see here, Tekken Ball was another mini game, and it's not really about hitting your opponent yourself, it's about using the ball to hit your opponent. And I think this is a fun game to kind of figure out, like, I think this can kind of help you practice like timing and stuff. I think you always have to find value in training in different ways. And I think Tekken Beach Ball Volleyball can be one fun way to find out what all your moves do and how they impact a ball. You know, because clearly that's relevant to winning a tournament. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, deflected it back. Who would have known, like, the Yoshi deflect would be so meta in Beach Ball? That's crazy. You didn't have to do him like that. You have to do him like that. Okay. Yeah, I think the Slamesh guy is pretty good. 123,000. Yeah, see, it says Tekken prowess here, but then the menu before when I showed you guys, it said Tekken power. Okay. Other centers just said, forget the ball. Let's just take this into the real. I'm not playing Tekken ball anymore. But I mean, that's a good strategy. Like, if you need to prevent an opponent from doing anything, just go up and punch them. Ooh, ball to the face. Oh, reflected. Who's gonna take it? Who's gonna take it? Azucena takes it. And that's Tekken Beach ball volleyball, basically. As the ball keeps bouncing on her head. Yeah, so, but yeah, that's Beach Ball Tekken. If you want to come play it, you just come into the lounge, come down to the side entrance that I showed you. You got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cabinets, or you can just sit over here and just enjoy the view in the sun, wherever the sun is. Can't even see it. But yeah, some cool stuff. So we're back at the main menu again after having all that kind of fun. And pretty much everything that I mentioned in the lounge, or that we saw in the lounge, again, are things that you can access probably from the menu itself. Again, outside of the story and like arcade quests. Tekken Ball is here, customization's here, the Tekken shop is here. The lounge just kind of acts as a place where you can just go do those things in an online hub, basically, which is pretty cool. But did I say I was gonna show you something? Oh yeah, the one thing I wanted to show you guys, the jukebox. So I have the Tekken 7 soundtrack on shuffle, meaning while I'm doing things, as you can hear now, Tekken 7 soundtracks play. But if I was like, but I think you can make your own playlist, basically. You click my playlist. And I guess you can just kind of like pick the songs you want, really. Yep, and it allows you with RB, LB, whatever your bumpers are, to kind of pick for different aspects of the game. So gallery, jukebox, customization, main menu. Let me see here, because I've never actually looked at this myself. This is kind of cool. So yeah, so you can set it manually for whatever stage or whatever activity you're doing, as I can see here. Yep, and it's playing right now, I suppose. I think that's the song I picked. But either way, yeah, that's how this works. And then I guess you could, if you want, just shuffle through everything. Yep, and this song is from the Tekken 6 soundtrack, if I'm not mistaken. This is a song called Tunnel Disaster, if anyone's interested in it. It's a pretty hardcore soundtrack. But yeah, you can just leave it on all. And then there's preset, which I guess is like the order it's in. Um, such good music, and this is all throughout the history, and you can put it anywhere in the game at any point that you want a particular song to play on a specific stage or in a specific scenario, which is really cool. You know, and then you can go to preset for Tekken 3, or you can shuffle through it. I think I'm gonna leave that on for now. The OG Tekken 3. I think my first game was Tekken 1 or 2. I think it was 1, but I played it on console on 2. Sorry, just give me a second. Just going through the memories right now. I'm sure all the rest of you are gonna do this or have done it. Tekken Tag. I really like the Tekken Tag Tournament soundtrack as well. This series has just been so goated for its soundtrack, you know. You can't have Tekken without good music, you know. Just kind of trying to figure out, you know, I can't even make a decision because all the music is so good, so I'll just shuffle through all of them. Yep, and then I'll click save and exit. And it's still playing a Tekken 7 song. Forget the name of this one, but it's a good stage. But yeah, also another cool feature in this game is, you know, replays. They have exciting replays and online replays. And exciting replays, you know, again, believe it or not, this is my first time actually watching replays. But I imagine exciting replays just shows you replays of matches that are exciting. You know, it's your run-of-the-mill replay system, it seems. It's not really one that I've looked at all that much. I'll let this run for at least one round. But you're getting to see some Victor gameplay, so that's a good thing. Ooh, missed. No. Now, that's not the only thing that I wanted to show. Another thing I wanted to show is something called My Replays and Tips. And so you can get all your replays, right? And then you can actually click on a match that you did. And a really cool feature they added was that you can actually get, like, I think tutoring. I've seen people show it in their own videos, but, like, I think it'll actually, like, stop the matches midway with freeze frames and actually give you advice on what you could have done in different situations. So in our earlier match, if I wanted to really perfect my game, let's see. Okay.
Amateur.
Oh yeah, I think it says at the bottom if I want to, I can hit right for tips. Yeah, so if you want to just go straight to the tips, you just hit, you can go left bumper, right bumper to go to the round selection, and then right trigger, left trigger to look at the tip. And so this is when I got grabbed, I believe. And I think it's kind of like where I could have used a throw break, and it's telling me I should have used one, as you can see in the top. And then this one's telling me that I could have punished this using back 1-3. And then this is telling me I also could have punished using back 1-3. Again, another back 1-3. Telling me this is a 2 break, meaning 1 and 2 together. opponent to would be like either your X or Y buttons on your Xbox controller, or square and triangle on a PlayStation. You know, and it's just, you know, it's just telling you basically like punishment tools you could have used. You know, and you can just cycle through them. You don't even need to watch the whole match. You just do it round by round. And you can even look at like the data here that you can edit for yourself too. So let's return to the main menu. But yeah, you know, on top of that, you know, you can click on community down here. It'll tell you recent opponents, notifications, friend list, people who you know, you might not, you can friend them, or maybe you want to follow them. A rivals list, you want to keep tabs on certain opponents who you really respect, you know, or you want to measure yourself to. And if you need to see recent opponents, you know, it'll tell you everybody you've played recently. And this is just notifications if you get invited to games and stuff. And then you go to my profile, and basically, you know, you can set up like this fancy smancy profile. Along with it at the bottom where it says like attack, defense, technique, spirit, appeal on the grid. The more you play, the more game records like your play style, and then it gives you 3 monikers to describe how you approach things in the game. And then, you know, that gives people an idea of what kind of strategies and tactics you like to deploy. But that all kind of folds into the Hwarang theme from Tekken 3. So good. This theme is so fire. But I think another thing worth mentioning is something called Super Ghost Battle. So basically, ghosts are these like, it's not like new to gaming, but like they're like a AI version of whoever you play. And you can as you play, I think you can have your own ghost like learn from you if you play it enough times, and then it will gradually start getting smarter and adopting your play style. We'll click on Super Ghost Battle. And so this is an area that's an arcade quest. It's actually a place called Final Round. And oftentimes when you download ghosts, they'll be like just sitting around here. Some of these characters are actually the ghosts that are of like other players online. And some of them with the treasures on their head, when you play them, you can get like a reward. And that reward is often like customization stuff for your avatar or your characters. But yeah, you come over here to battle. And you go to downloaded ghosts, and here are a few of my downloaded ghosts basically. This is a friend of mine, Ghost. Yeah, Ghost is just your AI, an AI of you that you've downloaded or you could play against. And they're just kind of like a virtual mirror replication of yourself, I mean,
Get ready for the next battle.
Let's see. This is an old ghost of my friend's, you know.
Round 1.
I'm just gonna fight very briefly. Yeah, my friend likes to do that. Yeah. Yeah, and he does that. Gets me. It's funny because a few of these things are things that my friend does do. He has a very interesting way of playing King. Alright. Yeah, so again, the thing I said that I think like you have to play the game a lot and you have to train the AI ghost a lot in order to do anything. Because my friend would not like be playing like this defensive. He does have these habits, but like if they train their ghost up enough, you know, I think it could start doing some real damage. I'm so. I need to play more Tekken. Boom. Backhand spray. Boom.
You're finished.
There we go.
You win.
So that's kind of, you know, Ghost Battle. Again, my friend's Ghost. He's not, I don't think he's been playing lately. He's been trying to become a professional at like Street Fighter 6 recently. So he hasn't been really training his Ghost, and I don't really train my Ghost. But if you want to know how Ghosts work, just go to How to Play Super Ghost Battle, and it'll tell you all the details you need to know. You can pause the screen to read all this. But yeah, again, this is kind of like the Arcade Quest location, though. And I think the last thing I can kind of talk about is Arcade Quest, because everything else is very self-explanatory. Now, I already beat Arcade Quest. And again, see, this is an area from Arcade Quest. But basically, Arcade Quest is like a story mode, but for your avatar instead of like the lore of the universe of Tekken. And you play as like an arcade goer who plays the game of Tekken with the characters. So it's kind of like it's more of a spin on reality in a very exaggerated way, I suppose. But not exaggerated to the point that it's in the Tekken universe. Tekken is seen as a video game here. So it's kind of like in Street Fighter 6, where you could play Street Fighter at like the hub, battle hub, but then you're an actual fighter. But in the Arcade Quest world, you're not a real fighter. You're just a gamer. And so this character Max here is going to be like your instructor who kind of tells you, not instructor, he's your friend, but he gives you the up and up about things. And like let me just like, this is a good mode if you're like brand new to Tekken, because it teaches you the essence of the game and the spirit of it. It teaches you about like how if you live in a town or a city or a region, there's different hubs in the world where people play this game, play Tekken, love Tekken, enjoy Tekken, and and how that love manifests comes out in so many different ways, right? Whether it's at like maybe a rinky-dink biker club, I suppose, or the championship cup at the city, or it's like your local, you know? We'll go here. This is like the starting area arcade. And so when you walk in here, there are like a whole bunch of opponents who you can play against. They have like the punch icon above them. I still need to play Orochi and Azumo. But I think the thing I like about this mode is that it really teaches beginners about what it means to be a part of like a fighting game community, what it means to like a fighting game, and how that doesn't always have to be about winning and being a tryhard. And it can be just about enjoying the game for what it is, you know? And you get a rank, your offline rank basically, and you can grind up that rank against any of these NPCs. And the best thing about it is that all these NPCs all have different like things they do to play the game. Some of them will spam a move over and over again. Some of them will do certain things over and over again, you know. So it's something to check out, because I think the message that they're trying to sell here to new players is to just enjoy the game in the best way you enjoy it, and no matter what it is, whether you're a hardcore, casual, or you're just someone who likes playing Tekken to just waste their time doing something, you're valid, you know, no matter what. I wish this was a real club, no joke. And so yeah, that is Tekken 8 for you, you know. And if anyone is really interested in trying out the game, those are some of the faculties available in it for you. You know, whether you want to play with friends or find people online or even join a Discord server, it's all there. It's all there, you know. And if you're new to fighting games, welcome to welcome to the fighting game community, you know. I mean, I haven't really been a part of, I haven't been a part of the FGC in any official capacity. I've just been someone who's observed it ever since I was in high school, and that was like a decade or more ago, 14 years ago to be exact. Man, time flies. But, you know, I've always been paying attention to the latest games, household names and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, you know, play games your way, you know, whatever way that is. And again, if you're new, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it, you know. Don't take it, you know, at the end of the day, we're playing video games, right? That's all that matters. All right, you all take care. Peace.